All right, everyone, thanks for being here. Our second panel, Mr. Rick Green, today is all about...
Watermelon.
Our second panel this afternoon is all about writing for television, primarily. And of course, Mr. Green here has done a lot of different types of writing, sketch comedy for the Frantics and for Greg Green Show, documentary work for History Bites, ADD, which is still comedic in nature, Prisoners of Gravity production, and everything there. So he's covered a wide variety of styles.
I even wrote a documentary that Kim Cattrall did called Sexual Intelligence. I was one of 5 writers, but I was on it the longest, so I got the credit.
So the easiest way to kind of get the ball rolling is to find out what you folks are here to learn from him. So we're just going to start right off the bat by doing the laziest moderator trick in the book and open the floor to questions.
And maybe just shout out a bunch of questions, the kind of stuff that you're wanting to hear about, and then we'll tailor the hour to that.
Yeah. So just let her fly. Questions. What do you want to know? Why are you here? Not, in an existential sense, but why are you here?
Those are good questions.
Really? You come to film on writing.
How does somebody get a television show made in Canada as opposed to Hollywood?
Okay, that's a good one.
About how much time do you devote to your writing as opposed to your acting and think tanking and other stuff?
Okay.
More questions?
Is pitching in Banff the way to go?
Okay, good one.
You can remember all these?
No, but there are other people, I'm just getting a sense of what sort of things we should do. Because I'll wander, I'm sure, and it'd be good to wander into a field someone's interested in plowing.
Do you need to go to school to become a good television writer?
Well, I studied physics at University of Waterloo, so you tell me. Oh wait, a good writer.
I can see the degree.
Yeah, that wasn't me. That was probably Dan Kimball. So let's start with the first, which was...
How does one get a television show made in Canada as opposed to Hollywood?
Well, it's really up in the air compared to how it used to be. It used to be when there were fewer networks. You went in with ideas that you pitched. It helps to have a track record, obviously, because everybody has ideas. And watermelon. You missed it. Every time someone comes in, we're going to say watermelon and laugh, and then people will think they missed something. Okay, now you can say
I have a bad.
But for a moment, didn't you have watermelon? You're kind of, I missed something good, see? There's a number of ways. So from where I'm standing now, I have enough of a reputation that I can call, or my agent will set up a meeting with either a production company. So I might go with, if I have an idea for a TV series that involves a lot of computer animation and heavy machinery, I might go to a company that's done, big machines or something like that, and find out who it is from the end of the show, or my agent will know. And then I go in and pitch them on the idea. Often I have something written, so it's really clear in my mind, but I'm going in there with a very short version of why this is unique, and why this is different than what it is that you're getting. So that's hard for me to be really succinct. But when you can do that, you have a much better chance of selling. Because there's less for people to object to. When you say it's 4 women in New York searching for men. They're all glamorous. It's called Sex in the City. And one of them's actually a columnist, but her life's a mess. Okay, and you've got to see how quickly you can lay it out and paint that picture. You also don't want to paint too much of a picture because then they're going, oh, did he say llamas? Then you've got to show about llamas. So you want to also make sure, it also helps to know what they're producing already. And some of that you can find on the websites. So as to how it's done in the States, I'm not really sure, but I think that's a slightly more complex process. There's more meetings. You want to tailor you want to make sure what you're doing is tailored to the network, and it's not exactly what they're doing now. So that's another thing. You've got to know the market. You've got to, it's no sense if you have absolutely no interest in machinery. Yeah, but there are probably people who would like this, and I'll pitch it. you gotta really like what you're doing, because you can go 5 years, and you can have, you know, you can have what you thought was your dream job, but you're working on projects you hate, and I know a lot of people like that. You know, they're working on a comedy show that they don't think is particularly funny, and but it's a job, and they got, so that's a danger. You want to go in with the idea, and you want to go in with a list of, a sense of how the first season at least will play out, even if it's a watermelon. So you want to be able to go in with the, see, no, this should come earlier. So that you want to go in with a sense of that they have to be able to see, unless it's a one-off special, they've got to be able to see that it has legs. So for example, a friend and I developed a series called, an idea called Machinosaurus. The idea was to take these gigantic machines that no longer exist, that did not that long ago. Everybody thinks a log flume is a ride. There used to be log flumes. They went down the side of the mountain. Logs came hurtling down. A guy stood on the log. It was the most dangerous thing in the world. Unbelievable. And everybody thinks it's a ride. They have no connection. So, watermelon. So we went in with the idea, but what we went in with, we also had things like a battleship, which, you know, and we explained why those were, they don't make them anymore, because, you know, Pearl Harbor, 6 of them got sunk by some little airplanes launched off an aircraft carrier. Now they've done aircraft carriers, they've done battleships. There was some interesting stuff in there, but mostly, so the idea got rejected. And it wasn't, well, I mean, it was very well thought out, but because we really focused on the human story of it, like who invented it, why did it work. See, I'm now tired of the joke. That's good too. Oh, it's nice. So you've got it, yeah, a well thought out idea, the plot laid out. If it's more like a comedy series or whatever, then you've got to have the characters laid out. And you really want to know why these are the most interesting characters to follow. You know, she's the most this, you know, facing this. It's the case of the extremes. You know, the world's wealthiest man, the world's formerly wealthiest man, the world's angriest criminal, the world's most psychic. So you want to have a clear idea of the extreme of why this is going to be interesting and how it's going to evolve over the run of the series.
I think if I could, a good kind of follow-up question to that would be how open are Canadian production companies to pitch ideas that are, say, not from a Rick Green, but from people who, and if you're new, if somebody's new here, they have a pitch, it's well thought out and laid out, you know, is there a standardized process to go and try to get that pitch in front of someone?
No, I think they're reasonably open. I think people, they may be swamped. It helps if you could get an agent at least to look at your work, because an agent could go, this is great, but it's all about machinery, and nobody ultimately cares about machinery. They really care about the person behind it. I'm watching Mythbusters for Adam and Jamie, right? And now they've introduced 3 more characters. That's what I'm watching. It's not just faceless people being locked in a cabin to see if cabin fever happens. It's Adam and Jamie, and the voiceover is near, and you're in, and they make it a competition. There's all of those elements. So you're going to get what you think is a well thought out or interesting idea, and they're going to go, here's what's missing. And it's like, oh my God, this is awful. You walk out of, how many times I said, yeah, what was I thinking? And you keep developing it. That said, I think if you find the right company, if you go to a production company who's already doing that kind of thing, so you go to Sinking Ship with the kids show idea, and if you have something, way of presenting it, sending it to them with a really catchy phrase in it, that's something that grabs their attention right away. If you've got a kid show, maybe you get artwork done. Another thing, easy thing to do, I think, these days is to get a camera and just shoot it. Now, you want to get people to know what they're doing so it looks nice and the sound is good and so on. That sometimes, you know. I think it varies from company to company, right?